Okay, so Copenhagen planks are a type of side plank that really work our adductors, okay? Adductors are the thing that a lot of women do have that week. So I'm going to try and show you all the different variations and regressions, okay? So we're going to start off with coming up into a side plank like this, okay? This is our first variation. It's going to be up into this side plank like this. You're going to inhale, you're going to exhale, engage your core, and you're going to lift this leg up, okay? And that's going to start working your adductor, okay? Woo, my chair is moving. Lock your chair in place, okay? So this is variation 1. Then with this, what we're going to want to do is progress down. So move a chair down, and then you can do the same thing on a poof. So it's going to be a bit harder because it's going to be a little bit lower. You can then also lower yourself down, for example, onto your elbows like so, okay? And then obviously the next option after that is bringing ourselves all the way down onto the floor. Now on the floor, there are going to be 2 variations, okay? So we can come into our side plank where our knees are bent. Make sure that your knee, your hip, and your shoulders like this are all aligned. And then after, you're going to lift this leg up here, okay? So once again, you're going to getting a bit more in your adductors and your knee bend. Then the next step after that is doing this, but with legs straight, okay? So you're going to inhale, you're going to exhale, and you're going to bring that leg up and you're going to hold in this position. Once again, try and make sure that your hips, shoulders, ankles are all aligned, okay? So those are like the variations. Then after we progress is that we move on to our foot raised. Now, a chair is going to be a smidge high, okay? This is where in the gym we tend to do it with benches, but this is how we're going to work with it, okay? So if this chair a high or like a sofa, okay? Height. Pick whichever variation you want, okay? With a Copenhagen plank, the less off your leg or foot that's on something, the harder it's going to be, okay? So that's where there's 2 options. I like a little poof to start off with because you can get a lot of your leg on the bench, and then you come up and then you can just have that leg bent up in front, okay? So this is how we're doing it. You're raised like so, okay? So you have I always have a lot of my knee and my adductor on, okay? Foot off the edge, all aligned up. We're coming up, and then after we are bringing this leg up. If it's too hard to lift the leg up off the floor though, you absolutely can keep the leg on the floor and just try and really focus on putting the weight on that leg, and then that leg is just kind of resting on the floor, but trying to not put too much weight on that leg, like the main work is coming from there. And then after that, the next variation is then bringing the leg up, okay? Then after the variations after that are obviously straightening the leg out and having less and less of the leg on the bench. So coming up, foot, and then driving like so. And then obviously if that leg is straight, it's going to be harder. So that's where like the leg straight, if you want to have the leg straight, sometimes a chair is easier because you can come up, and after you can have that chair underneath, like you don't have to bend it like so. But then obviously it's harder to get a whole leg. So I personally, still postpartum, kind of like having my knee on for security and doing it like that. It feels more comfortable for me on my adductors. But obviously, the less you need your leg on a bench or a chair, the more you can use that, okay? So that's kind of how we're going to progress it up until that point, okay? Then we can obviously add dips. We can add like little weights on our legs. I don't think we need to do that right now. So the end goal is obviously just coming up and being able to hold like so. But obviously, if you, once again, want to keep that leg on the floor off a chair, you can do it like this, okay? And once again, try and focus on driving through those adductors, trying to drive that adductor to the floor so that the work is coming through that leg. Because if not, it's really easy to put a lot of weight through the shoulder and through the leg on the floor, okay? So really focus with the leg that's on the bench that you're trying to drive the adductor towards the floor. And you'll be pressing into the chair, and you'll be for sure using that leg a bit more than that one, and that one will be a supporting leg.